Hey, ladies. We are so glad you're here this evening. We just want to welcome you and hope you enjoy your time this evening. And feel free to sing along. I took my love and I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. A mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I see through the oceans changing tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, children get older, I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Oh. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, children get older, I'm getting older too. Yeah, I'm getting older too. Oh, take my love, take it down. Oh, climb a mountain and I turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, the landslide will bring it down, down. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, well, the landslide will bring you down, down. Maybe the landslide will bring it down.
I'm Michelle. I'm a staff member here at Keystone. It is my honor to bring Kathey up on stage, and we're so excited you're all here for this evening. Kathey is an author of many books. Her latest one is Suddenly Single. It's on Amazon. It is in bookstores. She is very, very talented woman, and she has walked with hundreds of women through the trauma of divorce and has worked with them through mediation. And again, like I said, she's an author of several books, and it is our honor that she's here at Keystone and that she's willing to be here tonight and do Lipstick Chronicles. So we hope you sit back, relax, and just have a fun evening. So Kathey, come on up.
Thank you. Thank you. Why would someone review and reflect on the decades of her life by the lipsticks that she wore? Why not? Doesn't every middle-aged melancholy woman deserve a stage once in her lifetime? The good Lord knows she has dealt with enough drama. Welcome to the Lipstick Chronicles, a journey through the decades of our lives by the lipsticks that we wore. We have changed over the years, and so have our lipsticks. We have been pretty in pinks, focused in corals, serious in crimson. We have been frosty, satiny, glossy, occasionally but rarely muted. Our favorite lipsticks, like our favorite decades, run out much too quickly. Tonight's a little bit about my life, a little bit about your life, but one thing for sure, it is about life. I hope you can relate. I hope you laugh, maybe even cry a little bit of all the things that we think and thought, do and did, and find, as I have, that there is no guarantees in love and life and wealth and weather, but only the grace of God, who colors our world through the decades with goodness and beauty. We're going to start tonight with our 30s, because quite frankly, at this point, I don't remember my 20s. The lipstick of the 30s, Revlon, number 382, rosy pink. Just like we look through rose-colored glasses, we wore rosy pink lipstick for ideal. We've outgrown being naive, and cynicism is a few decades off. We are striving for the ideal, for perfection. It wasn't wrong, it just wasn't possible. But we didn't know that. We painted our world with our happily ever after. We painted the ideal future. We painted our kids' rooms defining colors: blue for captain of the basketball team, pink for homecoming queen, while they're kicking butt on the soccer field. We painted our husbands ideally with just a few tweaks. We demanded perfection of ourselves and that we would reach it, whether it was our kitchen table or our office desk. We would live the ideal life, pursue the ideal life. We were building houses and closet space and more things, decks, additions, accumulating shoes, dreaming the dream, one piece at a time. I just had to have it. It was 40% off, and I had a coupon for $10. I love it. It's going to go just so perfect. Oh. Won't go there. Over here by the ottoman, it'll go, oh, no, not going to go there. Well, we'll put it out here for now. There's nothing as satisfying as a good sale on something that's essential. My husband says we really can't afford to save any more money, but this had to be. The stuff we accumulated to make life ideal, we built, and now it all is dusted and rearranged. While building and accumulating, we had our babies. Oh, come on, sweetheart. It's okay. It's late, baby. It's late. Say goodnight to the moon. Goodnight, moon. Goodnight, clocks. Goodnight, socks. Goodnight, bowl of mush. Goodnight, little old lady, whispering hush. As women, it feels so good to meet the needs of those around us. And I should be able to meet everybody's needs, right? The needs are there. Everybody wants a piece of me. Reports are due on Monday. Mom, will you? Honey, do you mind? Mom, where's my socks for this recital? The real deal is not what I painted in my fairy tale. I started out the beautiful princess. I became the peasantry pauper. I can't keep up. Groceries. These people, they eat 3 times a day. Laundry, socks. No socks for Matt's soccer game. No socks for Melanie's recital. I can't get it all done. Motherhood. It meant going to bed guilty every night. We didn't get enough things done. We didn't eat enough vegetables. Why did I say yes to Starburst? What are those little intestines doing with Starburst right now? I am a negligent mother. And why did I lose my temper with Matthew? Just because he was climbing the curtains? God gave him the heart of an explorer. Have I crushed the spirit of him? I didn't get it all done. It's near midnight. I have laundry to do. The commercials, the Facebook posts, the magazines. We were deceived again. Nobody told us it was unobtainable, that nothing comes together all at once. We thought we knew what it was supposed to look like. Our worst fear? That we weren't doing it right. We read, we listened, but the ideal was elusive. There in some marketer's imagination. Unobtainable. And easy for me and us to go into overwhelm. I am too young to be this old, too old to be this young. It's 3:30 already and I have nothing done. Is this what life has become? Obsessing over socks, tending dirty underwear, and the straps of jocks? These people make me laugh. These people make me cry. These people make me grumpy. And then they wonder why. 1,000 little details, lost socks to name a few. Why didn't anyone tell me this is all that you will do when you are grown up? Endless deadlines, pressures, responsibility, raise the kids, work and house. I think the dog has fleas. Why didn't Mama warn me? Why weren't life lessons given to not be overcome by laundry and overcome by living? Mom! Mom! Can I come home? She said no. I was married now with 3 kids. Dang. It was supposed to be the perfect dinner. You know the one that you pour your heart into preparing. The food is perfect. The mashed potatoes, the mixed vegetables, the ham that was basted. It was a perfect dinner. The table was set, linen tablecloth. Linen napkins, not the ones left over from Burger King. There were 2 forks. There was a dessert fork. There were 2 spoons, 2 glasses. My children were going to learn what an ideal dinner looked like. The children were dressed to their best. Matthew in his little starched shirt looked so adorable. My girls in matching polka dot dresses looked beautiful. Matthew, you look just so handsome, buddy. Honey, don't tip in your chair. Don't pull on the tablecloth. Girls, you look so beautiful. I'm just so pleased. Dinner's coming. Daddy's on his way. I just need to grab one more thing. So if you'll just sit, honey, don't pull on the tablecloth. Don't tip in your chair. If you'll just sit still 1 minute, I'll be right back. Oh, it was supposed to be the perfect dinner. Matthew was crying, not because he was hurt. He was afraid of what Mom would do. The girls sat in total silence, just waiting and watching. What would happen next? Mashed potatoes were on the floor, spread across the wall. Baxter, the dog, was enjoying the ham. The rolls rolled. This is life. This is real. And it's messy. The real is messy. What breaks if I hold too tightly? Will it be the spirit of my children? Do I continue to force the ideal or embrace the chaos? What's really important here? To accept what is and not what I painted it to be. Idealism fades into realism, which is a much saner place to live. The 30s is a powerful time of influence, holds more, builds more than houses, and accumulates more than things. The prayer of our 30s. Jesus, I had a perfect plan. Life mocked it. I lost today by demanding and expecting too much of myself and others, insisting on an ideal life. Life's messy, and if I'm not careful, I will miss it. My greatest teaching may be when things don't go right. Help me, Father. Give the wiggle room of grace instead of demanding perfection. Help me love in the real world and not what I painted it to be. So our lipstick changes. We change to be more realistic people. And before we are ready, we say goodbye to the 30s and hello to the 40s. The lipstick of the 40s, Revlon, number 472. Revlon 472 is Call to Action Red. This decade requires stamina. The 40s, they hold it all together, unless it is falling apart. In the 40s, we painted our world a different color, or did the world paint us? Red for action, the decade's demanding, the stamina to keep up. Life is consistently changing and increasing speed. We're more dependent on lipstick than ever, and I'm not sure where the crow flies, but I've discovered where he lands. The 40s are fabulous. In 1 minute, you were in high school class, worried about your English grade, and the next minute, you were tearing through the house like a desperate maniac searching for keys to get to soccer practice. Life changes. I was at the mall the other day, and there was this middle-aged woman staring at me. She looked at me quizzically. I looked at her quizzically. She frowned at me. I frowned at her. And I realized I was staring at my reflection. Middle age brings growth and opportunity and promotions. We had those visions of promotions, right? More money, more control, more prestige. It's actually more work, more pressure, more lipstick for more meetings. Clack, clack, and Morgenstern. Oh, I understand you're frustrated. Oh, yes. Let me direct you to management. Wait, that's me. Can be lonely at the top for women to find the balance of being powerful and feminine at the same time. And changes come that we weren't expecting. Constant change, major changes. The realities of saying goodbyes to people, places, and things, grandparents, aunts, uncles, childhood homes, all those staples that held you together. 40s is learning to let go. We traded our babies for teenagers. We trained those kids to grow up. They did. And here it comes. Teenage sports, dances, prom, dresses, lost socks, continue only 5 different pairs of sports socks. Everything gets bigger and more expensive. Basketball camp, $1,500 for basketball camp? Teenagers, clothes, monitoring, phones, life transitions. Driver's training, Science projects, girlfriend fights, boyfriend fights, periods and pauses, winnings and losses, the ups and downs and all arounds. There isn't time for cooking. Let's just order pizza. The music, the drama, life at full throttle. The stamina to stay the course takes courage and lipstick. Teenagers, such beauty, such wonder, such hormones. Their job is to cross boundaries. My job is to make sure they fail. Rebellion gets very dramatic. So dramatic, in fact, it could be made into our own parent teenage musical. Don't tell me not to fly. I've simply got to. As long as you're home by 11. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Well, all damages are coming out of your allowance. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. You're not going out of the house in this weather dressed like that. I'm gonna live and live now. Only after your homework's done. Get what I want. I know how. Well, that requires money, wheels, and a job. None of which you have, sweetheart. The sound of music to my ears were those teenage years. Raindrops on roses, whiskers on preteens. Spent $80 on overpriced blue jeans. Brown paper packages tied up with string. Okay, why did you tie the string around it, and what are you hiding from me? These are a few of my favorite things. When their words bite and their looks sting and they make me mad, I simply remember I can take the keys and then I don't feel so bad. Cream-colored prom gowns, red and white jerseys, tickets and trophies and begging for mercy. Talks up till midnight, a glimpse of their dreams. Raising those teens were my favorite things. When they face life and they have fights and they're feeling sad, I simply remember they still need their mom, and then I don't feel so bad. After 547 occasional pizza dinners, this rich color stage comes to an end. Life changes again. Stamina to carry on while learning to let go. My baby's going off to college. Seriously? Now? She should be in footy pajamas running down the hall, jumping into bed. She's just a baby. How can she survive in a grown-up world? She's not ready. I'm not ready. She's scared. I'm scared. And there she stood in the doorway, bags packed, smiling, ready to take on the world and leave Mama behind. I had a mixture of disbelief and emotions, joy, anger, not ready to let go. I don't know what came over me, but I had some words to say to her. I spent the best years of my life on you. I cried the tears of worry. I defended you. I protected you. I fought for you. It took its toll on me, child. You created more scars than just these stretch marks. I could have traveled the world over twice for what I invested in you. I could have had this spectacular career instead of accommodating basketball practice, getting stains out of uniforms, finishing homework, running homework up to the school to save your butt. I deserve the A+. I want you to know one thing before you walk out that door and you take on your world. That all the sacrifice and all the work and all the heartache and the personal cost, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I had you for such a short time. Nothing replaces you. Nothing. I wish I'd always remembered that. I took her off to college and I tucked her in her dorm room. I went to the edge of a parking lot and I had a very good cry. Then I wiped the mascara off of my chin, put on a new shade of lipstick, and moved forward. Lucy told me she's getting married. I said, "Oh, honey, that's wonderful. I just need to know what time you'll be home for dinner." Life changes. Those seemingly endless active nights ended. And there was a hush over the house. It was so quiet. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Good night, moon. Good night, clocks. Good night, socks. Good night, childhood. Tattered pages of a children's book, long outgrown. Empty nest, another shade of life. I keep waiting for the birdies to come home. They don't, but they keep asking for worms. Mr. Moon, are you the only thing that doesn't change around here? Even you go in phases. Only God never changes. The only constant, no matter what comes, no matter what goes. And the quiet of the house is disrupted. What is that noise? A Harley, honey? Seriously, a Harley? Oh, you go for it, Easy Rider, if that makes you happy. Oh, yes, I'm listening. I'm listening only to find that I'm listening to a midlife crisis. You think Harley is loud. Wait till you hear a midlife crisis. Go ahead, honey. You just enjoy that nice Harley. You ride if that makes you happy, sweetheart. You're going where? You want what? What about our family? What about us? What about 20 years of us? It happens at least once in your life when crisis comes. Death, disease, or divorce. And your world spins out of control and you cannot make it stop. And everything inside of you is dark. And it's overwhelming. Yet even in the darkest times, there is light. A light to guide, to know that you're not alone. Grace and hope are persistent and they do not let you go. Grace holds you just long enough to get your bearings. And hope whispers in your ear, you're going to make it. But every fiber in your being screams otherwise. It is here where grace becomes amazing. It is here that grace is strong enough, even now. And something kicks in. The stamina of his grace, his love for you, his fortitude strengthens you. And you cannot stand the thought of being a victim. There is no lipstick shade for victim. Vixen, maybe, but not victim. And just when you feel you can't, you do step into a new normal. You see that you are one of those women who will find a new color and recreate yourself all over again, and a whole world opens up. You are more intentional, more authentic, and more glorious. Idealism has just crashed, and reality is a monster. But the grace of God redeems your life to a new color and a new shade, and you will make it through this because you have to. The prayer of the 40s. Lord, color me steadfast in faith. When I cannot see a future, cover me completely, that I would be lacking of nothing. Let endurance have its perfect result, your word says. Do a work in me that I may completely be developed in faith and lacking in nothing. I am holding on. So you touch up your lipstick and you realize the dark shadows that you once feared are really hiding something wonderful. The 40s require stamina, refining, redefining, to test the character, to see if you have the guts to live into your 50s. The lipstick of the 50s. The lipstick of the 50s. The lipstick of the 50s, 503. Sassy makes a comeback. It's time to get sassy. Time is sassy. Doesn't it amaze you how quickly the lipstick tubes go and the decades go? I don't know how I got here so quickly, but I think it happened one night in June. I was really tired. I mean, I was exhausted. I raised 3 kids and I went to bed. And while I was sleeping, time came in and drew all these funny little lines on my face. And it ran out the door with my short-term memory. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know it'd come quite so soon. The middle of life brings realizations that you are never finished changing or changing your mind. Maturity makes you notice things that maybe you've been a little too compliant all these years. You finally realize you have a voice and you need to talk back. Intentionally take up space without apology. Women should stop wearing the expectations and opinions of others when they get to their 50s. I don't know where it came from. Maybe it was my first grandbaby or my second, third, fourth, or fifth that goes through this period of, why, Grandma? Why? Why? So I started asking myself, why? Why, Grandma? Why do I do what I do? Why do I allow people to do? Why didn't I allow myself to do? You realize that you've got to stop being afraid and start being sassy. The faith to show up in your life passionately. There is enough injustice in this world that needs your voice. To be sassy without a cause is arrogance, but sassy with reason is powerful. Let's put those hot flashes to work. Look around you at all the crappy things that have touched your life or someone you know. Cancer, lost people who don't know the love of God, muscular dystrophy, cruelty to animals, child abuse, abused women, human trafficking. Get mad about something. Jesus did. But before you take your picket sign to the street corner, the one that you need to be sassy with most of all is you. Sassy enough to deal with the baggage that you've been carrying in your life. Sassy to finally face and deal with it and decide I'm not taking it with me anymore. And I can't do that on my own. I need other fellow travelers, people who get it, who see me, who hear me, dealing with their own baggage. To be sassy enough to deal with your baggage that you've carried way too long. It's heavy. Maybe even justify blame. People wronged you. People wronged me. But I've been holding these offenses with clenched fist. It is as if it gives me control. I don't know why they did what they did, but I know that I've carried it too long. I've carried it because I lack the faith that God could and would handle it. Funny, he's been running the universe without me. I need to let go of blame, to leave it for God to handle. Heavy, heavy as a ton of bricks. I have turned to do my own thing. I've gone my own way, even when I knew it was wrong. God is not surprised by my selfish motives or my struggles. The purpose of guilt is to draw me into his forgiveness, not to a burden to carry that I cannot fix. Jesus said, let it go. You don't have to carry it anymore. But I grabbed it back and I said, no, I did this. I made my bed now. I have to lie in it. That's what Dad said. But I'm so tired, Lord. Isn't it ridiculous that I would carry this into my 50s? Isn't it ridiculous that you do? I'm finally letting go of guilt, and I'm giving it to God once and for all, drawing into his forgiveness. And I feel lighter already. Toxic relationships. Whew, I'm a glutton for punishment. They keep punishing me, poisoning me, and I keep letting them, weighing me down, drawing me away from goodness and beauty. It's tonnage to my spirit. I need healing to be able to put up boundaries, to stop rationalizing, stop accepting, and start standing. The wisdom to know manipulation. I will put up fences, not walls. They won't be happy, but my bondage will be broken and I'll be free. I'm letting go of toxic relationships. Oh boy, it's a hard one. Shame. My body feels it before I even know it's happening. My body repulses before I even look away. Satan's greatest tool. It denounces my value, accuses me, says that I'm bad, I'm despised, I'll never be good enough. Who told me I was naked? My shame did. And I keep hiding instead of relinquishing to Christ. Jesus shows up in our shame and he sits down. Says, I'm here. I'm here in your shame. I'm not afraid of it. I see you. Do you see me seeing you? There is no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus. Stop condemning yourself. How long have I carried what Christ has buried? I'll be continually letting go of shame, and I'll need reminding from my friends and from my Savior. The prayer of my 50s. It's difficult to unpack the baggage in your life. There are only two places for the baggage of your life. It's either upon the cross of Christ or inside of us. And it is too heavy. Jesus gave me a spiritual sassiness. I like it. It looks well on me. The prayer of the 50s, Jesus, color me free. Rid me once of the baggage. Teach me to renew my mind, to put on my new self, that I might become the righteousness and holiness of God, because you became my shame. Make me sassy, lively, bold, full of spirit, to serve and to honor you. I don't know why it takes so long to learn wisdom. The scriptures say it cries out in the street. I guess I took the detour. Letting go of that which entangles us paves the way to a new decade with a lighter spirit. Good night, moon. Good night, clocks, which move so quickly these days. Before I can believe it, someone has the audacity to say, "Happy birthday, it's your 60s." The lipstick of our 60s, Revlon, number 911. Send help. Help me, Lord. I've never been here before and it looks so scary. All these wrinkles and joints I didn't know that I had. Serums and lipsticks can only go so far. Help me to see the right perspective, that life is not diminishing, but it is coming into focus, to embrace all that has come to fruition in life. Grandchildren, having children, seeing a future unfold. What a future. And then to look at the decades of the past. What was I thinking? You were always in such a hurry. Do you know what happens when you're in such a hurry? You get to be 60 just like that. Poof, you're in your 60s. I wish you would have slowed down. Help comes in the form of mercy every morning. Somewhere between the caffeine and the lipstick, mercy comes. The lipstick of the 60s is more real, more muted, more natural. Have I finally learned to listen more than I talk? I try, sometimes. I just have more to say. The 60s is learning to have grace with yourself. I have become a great storyteller in my 60s. I can take the same story to the same person and tell. Did I tell you this already? And those thoughts that used to be such rock solid thoughts within my mind are now these beautiful butterflies that light upon my brain and then they're gone. I just had that thought. Our mind changes, our body changes. These are not my arms. These are not my arms. These arms have puckers in them. These are not my arms. These are not my legs. These are not my legs. These legs have the map of the Pennsylvania Turnpike on them. These are not my legs. This is not my face. This is not my face. This is my face. This is not my face. Grace with myself and my aging body. We're not very good at that, are we? Have I ever accepted my body totally in all of the decades? I should apologize to myself for being so unkind. Through the decades of life, I am losing my pretty. But in drawing into Christ, I am finding my real beauty. To show more of Christ and less of me is the real beautiful. Now my eyes are getting worse, but my vision is getting better. To see a broken world that needs less of my judgment and more of my love. And learning to let go of things. The Turkish lamp, it has a few cracks in it. Thank you, Matthew, with the basketball in the house. It's tarnished, and it has a few magic marker marks in the back that I'm glad didn't come off. And the kids think it's silly. It's like, it's just an old lamp, Mom. But it was a lamp that was always in our house and always there. And it was just part of the past. And I came to the realization, okay, it is just a lamp, and I need to give it to one of my children. Because I know if I don't get it settled now, they're going to be fighting over it. So I need to be here to referee. Would you believe they didn't want it? They didn't want it. They didn't want my china either. What other assumptions have I been running on over the past decades that I've wasted my time on? The value of the years come from this. The best of my years were teaching my children of Jesus and seeing them teach theirs. The best, the most powerful times of my life were when I showed love and times of prayer. And everything else is just everything else. Oh, don't be mistaken. I'm not done in my 60s, but I'm keeping the lamp. The 60s is just a place to launch. It is not too old to be born again. It is not too old to have new dreams and new goals to pursue. It depends on your faith and not your age. To mount up on eagle's wings is a verse not only for young men, but for old women as well. So I encourage you to mount up, to cast your dreams before a loving God who tenderly handles them, and take flight. He will be your strength. In all of his faithfulness through the decades, what did he want me to learn? What I've learned most of all is that it was never about the lipstick. It was always about the lips and the love behind the lips. Whether it's love, bitterness, compassion, jealousy, your words spoke what your heart was full of. The power of your words to honor or to destroy. those kids, they were listening all along. These decades have really been a love story between God and me. There have been many characters in this love story. My favorite ones are the ones I gave birth to. Some came for a lifetime, some came for a season, some left and never looked back. But ultimately, this has been a love story between God and me. And through it all, he never stopped loving me, pursuing me, coloring my world with my eyes to see it. The prayer of the 60s, your plan was always the best plan, God. I tried my own several times, but you always guided me back. The different shades and decades of life color me grateful for the gift of growing more mature in you. Oh, I'm not arrived. I haven't arrived. I'm still learning the inexhaustible beauty and grace of Jesus. But quiet my heart to know you more fully, God. May I follow those beautiful sisters in their 70s and 80s to love you more deeply. There were no guarantees in love and life and wealth and weather. It really is just the grace of God who colors our world with goodness and beauty. And I am so very grateful. Good night, moon. Good night, clocks. Good night, socks. Good night, bowl of mush. And now I'm the little old lady who's whispering hush. Thank you.
Ah. Right. Wow, that was amazing. I have tears. I'm sure all of you do, but I'm in the sassy 50s, so I'm feeling like, woo, I get to be sassy right now. So, yeah, Kathey, you warmed our hearts. I saw tears. I saw laughter. I saw people holding hands. I am so grateful that you spoke to us tonight. What a gift. So, Kathey asked me to close up tonight and just to say to you guys, hang out for 20 minutes, get in groups, talk about where you are in life, like kind of contemplate on what she spoke about, where you are and what is touching you right now, what your color is, what the shape of your lipstick is. Like, let's just have girlfriend time. Have a snack. Grab a water or a beverage and just find some time to think about where you're at. Where is your journey? What is your next step? Are you in sassy mode like me? Are you, in those 30s where you're like, oh, life is so hard. I have so many kids and everything's not getting done. We have all ages here. So find somebody that's not the same age as you. Find somebody older than you. Find somebody who's younger than you that you could help process that. So thank you for being here tonight. We're so grateful. Thank you, Kathey, once again. We hope you had a great night.